Hey there, guys, gals, fans, and pals. Your buddy JohnMegacycle here. This is the summary video for the latest Megacycle Entertainment OpenTTD tournament, Yetis. Now, uh, we're going to talk this through in two phases. One is we're going to talk about how a normal tournament goes, and then we're going to talk about Yeti. If you're not familiar with Yeti, hold on to your butts. It's going to be something. Under normal circumstances, with all the tournaments that we have so far, have had so far, I can talk. Trust me, I'm a real good speak man. These have been all based on company value. Company value takes all of your assets, all of your cash, all of your loans, all your everything, and gives us just a really nice dollar figure, right? I'm gonna turn down the volume. Hold on. Hearing it ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching every few seconds is kind of driving me nuts. Um, how do we do that? Just load a game. That's not gonna do anything. Okay, whatever. Anyway, moving on. The way in which we do it is we check on company value. And company value, again, has all that stuff I said. Whoever has the best company value in 20 years, is how we've been playing it, is the winner, right? But now we're playing with something called Yeti. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up a game. It's a fresh game. I'm going to pause it. I'm going to walk you through how Yeti works. Yeti is another, I'll call it a complex overhaul NewGRF, right? What would I consider complex? New products, new transportation routes, new mechanics, all these things I would consider to be additions to complexity, right? I would call it complex. A simple one might be, what would a simple new GRF be? Adding new trains, right? That might be like, oh, we added 5 new trains. The Megacycle class steam engines, right? Yeah, there you go. So that's how that works. Um, kind of. So I would consider that simple. This adds, as you can see down here, stone quarries, clay pits, forests, construction yards, etc. These are all broken down into various chains, which might be really similar to how the furs one looked before. And the furs one was also pretty interesting. But this one, this is how this works. We have these worker yards, and these worker yards generate Yeti dudes. Yeti dudes are then taken from these yards and they're brought to facilities that require Yeti dudes to make something: clay, stone, farming goods, whatever. This production then goes to, I wonder to see if there's one around here. Maybe not. This production goes to a construction yard. So I'll walk you through it and then we'll go through the whole thing. This goes to a construction yard. So the clay goes to a construction yard, and this produces building materials. Building materials then go right back to the Yeti worker yard. So building materials, right? So there's 3 main chains. There's the Yeti chain, which you take from the Yetis to whatever. That includes food to the Yetis and building materials to the Yetis to increase Yeti production, right? So consider Yetis as your workers, right? But they're the abominable snowman kind of a thing, creature. That's what they are. So that's one chain. So in here, stone quarry, clay pit, forest, construction yard. That's one chain. Actually, it's probably grouped up pretty nicely here. Let's talk about it like this. So that's one. Two is foodstuffs: animal farm, grain farm, plantation, food plant that generates food. This third one is iron ore mine and death steel mill. The death steel mill makes steel bearings, balls of steel. Balls of steel go to machinery factories. Machinery factories then make machinery, which machinery goes to various farms and stuff to produce more, like it was furs. So let's see here. Here we go. So here's an animal farm. You can bring Yeti dudes and machinery. Machinery means that production doubles. Production doubles with machinery, right? So there's, I guess, like in my mind, there's 3 or 4 chains here. All help each other out, and what happens is things get more and more productive. You get the Yeti dudes to make food. The food goes back to the Yeti dudes, and then you get more Yeti dudes. The Yeti dudes then go work on construction materials. You bring the construction materials back, you get more Yeti dudes. You then take those extra Yeti dudes and you ship them to oil pumps and uranium mines and whatever other places to make more advanced products, and those advanced products you sell, right? That's kind of how this all works. So I want to give you like a brief overview of how that operates. This is different than normal. Like I said, each of these facilities require Yeti dudes. The farms don't do anything. Nothing does anything without Yeti dudes. So the Yeti dudes are actually a key part of this process. You can help Yeti dudes create more Yeti dudes. This is really hard to say. By bringing passengers in from towns. That's another way you can kind of help them grow a bit. But realistically, passengers start, you bring passengers first, and then you bring food, and then you bring building materials. I didn't know how to play this, so during my run, you're watching me do the whole thing from scriggity scratch. But let's get started. We actually have 7 people who finished. I think that's everybody? I think that's actually everybody. So I'm going to kind of motor through this a little bit, or this is going to take longer than my actual playthrough. So this is Elm Creek and Company, played by Cinder Elm Creek. Their total company value is 134.2 million. I'm not going to go in all the way down the digits, but that is their millions. Let's take a look at the map. Pop this open real nice. They worked a lot more densely than I did. Holy cripes. I don't have any music. Lo-fi? It's just something for noise. Lo-fi will be fine. Let's start here. So I want to look for wherever they have Yeti Dude start. So there's a Yeti Dude thing there. That might be a thing. It is a Yeti Dude thing. They tapped a lot of places, so let's just grab one and go for it. The Diane Yard. This is going to bring population from Augustina to here, and then that's going to bring Yeti Dudes to the clay pits. The clay pits then go to... this must be... Oh, was that... Hold on. Was that clay or was that iron ore? It's iron ore. Whoops. Yeah, this tournament was the first time I ever came in contact with this, which I'm thankful for. I didn't do a super great job, but I'm super thankful that this gave me a nice opportunity to give it a try. Oh, excuse me. I really need my coffee. Okay. This makes balls of steel. This does not need Yetis. Certain processes don't need Yetis, but the steel balls are going to go... let's go this way. Nope. That also feeds into down there. It goes to here, so this is going to use steel. Yep, balls of steel waiting. The way in which the machinery works is you can bring it one product, or you can bring it... So, you can bring steel, and it'll produce 50% efficiency. So for every 10 steel you bring in, and you only get 5 machinery. If you bring refined products, or any secondary product, it goes to 75. If you bring all 3, it operates at 100%. So every 10 items in, 10 items out, right? So, that's how that works. Yeah. Machinery is then most likely... That's specialized liquid. Machinery is then probably being brought somewhere else. And then that is greatly increasing... This might have machinery. Nope, okay. I'm not sure where the machinery is being brought per se, but that's what you do. You bring it back to one of the factories, and that's where it starts to help with productivity and such. I kind of want to see where it is. It is this one. Okay, it's being brought to... Is it being brought to here? Jack Factory. This is Russell Woods. Where is Jack Factory? Nope, Carl Mines. Oh, this is bringing battery. Oh, this is bringing batteries. This isn't bringing machinery anywhere. Hold on. I messed. Oh, it might be over here, actually. Yeah, that's where I was. I didn't see this other guy. They're both the same picture. They're both the same item, right? If you look at them, they're both... batteries look like batteries. Machinery looks like batteries. So that's bringing the machinery here. It is producing, yep, double production because of the machinery and the Yeti dude. So this is bringing tons of oil somewhere else. I think that's oil. Yeah, where are you going? Instant Woods. I keep forgetting I can hold control and click. Yep, and then that is going to bring it back over to machinery. Yep. So you've got a nice little feedback loop here, and this is how this is supposed to go. It goes from one thing to another thing to another thing to another thing. So oil to refinery, refinery to machinery, machinery to oil. In that loop, you just keep making more and more and more stuff because the Yeti dudes are one of the biggest constraints. Maybe that's the right word. It's the biggest blocker. I'm not really too sure else to say it, but it's a lot in the way. And if you can ramp up production without needing them as much, that's awesome. Oh, I found the thanks, John. Oh, that is very, very nicely done. We have a cute little tradition on the server. I don't remember who started it. I think it was maybe Cyber Psycho who started it. On a lark, they just put thanks, John, on the thing, and I found it. And it was like a pyramid thing. It was some weird thing, but I was like, that is crazy sweet. It made me blush for like, I don't know, 5 minutes. It was so cute. It was not like I didn't ask anyone to do it, but it's happening. It's super appreciative. Thank you. Thank you. Excuse me. So, how does this work? Can you actually... Yeti dudes. Oh, you're bringing Yeti dudes around. So yeah, I don't really know what to really take apart here, but you can kind of see what happens. Now, one of the things that really messed me up on this whole thing was the different kinds of trains. There are a lot of different trains with this one, and I think Cinder did a much better job isolating each. So, if we sort by shared orders, I don't know how effective that is. Yeah, they went for a much smaller train layout for a bunch of their orders, which I think is really smart, especially if you're moving something that just needs to be trickled in, like Yeti dudes. It makes a lot of sense for that to be a thing, in my opinion. I went way too much. Building materials makes sense also. Yeah. So for this, what you want to do is, like, Cinder Elm Creek has several Yeti yards, or whatever the heck they're called. So by bringing in regular building materials at a trickle speed, it makes a lot more sense than waiting a ton of time and then boom, here's 500 building materials, which is how I did it. So I like this layout a lot better. I like that a lot better. We also have, thanks to the dude, we have this. We have Cinder Elm Creek's storybook. This is called the Company Tracker, and it is a game script. It's not a NewGRF. This is a game script. I think every save or every game or whatever can have one game script enabled. So this is what we have. This works out really well. So this shows, you can see the company value, the income yearly, the cargo they've pushed, the population of the world, and how many vehicles they have. And just by looking, you can see when there were like really good years and how things ramp up and all that. And yeah, it's a nice informational thing. So thanks again to the dude. That's the moniker they go by. So thanks again they set this all up. I think we first tried this last tournament or 2 tournaments ago. Time flies, I don't know. But this was still really cool. I like it a lot. Check here again. Yeah, got everything all set up. I think we've tracked everything. We've got 7 players to go through, so like I said, I kind of want to be a little quicker this time. Otherwise, what's going to happen is the recap is going to be longer than my playthrough. And of course, if once we're done with the summary video, I'll post all the rankings of who won or whatever. And then what we'll do is, it's just going to be a, hey, here's all the connection information. Feel free and go check out everyone's stuff. So this next one is Cyberpsycho. I'm going to turn down the effects. That's what I wanted to do. Cyberpsycho Psychotic Transport. Oh, let's go through the numbers first. Their numbers are 312 million. 312 point... let's give it 313. 313 million. I could do a dollar symbol. There we go. Okay. Psychotic Transport. Let's check out their... let's check out the map. And then we'll check out the shared everything and then the tracker. Okay. Much more spread out. Holy cripes. Do I spy with my little eye? Oh. Thanks, John. Aww. That is also very creative. How... Are these wet stations? Those might be wet stations. This game is weird. In terms of the trains and everything. The Nuts, N-U-T-S, is another new GRF you might have noticed. That, I think that's what adds all the trains. Let me show you real quick. Honestly, for me, yeah, unrealistic train set. It's really cool, but it adds way, way, way too much for me to care about. It's kind of insane. It's kind of insane. Okay, anyway, back on with Cyberpsycho. Let's go ahead and pick some interesting spots on the map and go from there. I'm going to grab this guy. So what you see here is the game is set to allow cities to build in a 3x3. What Cyberpsycho has done is they've gone ahead and pre-built a bunch of the territory for the city to build out to. The idea is this is a lot less time the city is wasting building roads. I think the logic, I could be totally wrong on this, but this is like the logic I've been working with, is every so often, based on certain parameters, the city will decide to expand. When it expands, it can either add new housing, a new commercial building, or whatever, or it can build a road. So time that it wastes building a road, you can go ahead and pre-build out a bunch of this. And Cyberpsycho is hoping that the city builds out this way, right? Out like this. And that would really add to this station. I'm going to take a wild stab and say this is, yeah, either mail or passengers. Oh, a little bit of both. A lot of bit of both. Yep, so this is going... Actually, I'll just do it this way. And they did the same thing here. Yep. Pre-cut it out so that way the city has to care a lot less about expansion. This is great. Yeah, every when the cities just merge into each other, I kind of find that kind of funny for reasons. Okay, so starting from... Oh, nope, I wanted to close you out. Thanks. Starting from over here, we have... What is being brought, what is being shipped. You're probably looking for Yeti dudes. Yep. You're probably looking for Yeti dudes. You're probably doing something... You're probably bringing passengers here, right? Yep. Let's take a little bit of a talk about this. The colored rails you see are called per rails. I'm going to join your company just for a second. But the rails each have their own benefits. Clean, yellow, red, blue, green, and wet. If we come here, certain trains actually have an ability to use them. The per rails are universal rails. Here we go. Controlled demolition. Stat bonuses on per rails. Red per is more speed. Blue per is more power. Yellow per is more attractive effort. Green per is plus 10% all around. Now you might be like, why in the world would you care about that? Well, one thing that could be really cool is you pick the one that has more attractive effort if you're going up hills, right? You might want more power if you're hauling more stuff. You might want more speed if you have a lighter train. For me, I honestly just did green everywhere. I did just 10% better across the board. I can't be bothered with the math. This map is relatively very flat. See how there's not a lot of variance in colors? This is a very flat map. So having extra speed or power makes more sense than tractive effort, I think. I think that's how that would work. But anyway. Let's go ahead and resume. Red is power plants, I think. Oh, uranium mines. Uranium mines, yep. Dudes. Population 4 dudes. Uranium mines. Power plants. Okay, power plants make batteries. Batteries are here and are most likely going to a machinery yard. I'll find it eventually. There we go. The Doris factory. And let's see. Is this just batteries? Okay, so this is bringing batteries, but machinery isn't going anywhere. Yeah. Oh, but here, this is a good example. This is what I was saying before. This has it one type of input, 50%, two types of input, 75, three types of input, 100%. So that's where that breaks down from that logical perspective. What is this guy? Oh, okay. Yeti thing. So just to restate it, you can't just take farm to factory like you could in vanilla. This is a lot of nested, bringing population over to the Yeti worker yards, and then the worker yards going out and doing the actual work. Oh, this is a nice little setup here. Yeah. So you can see there's some dudes waiting and such. Yeah. This works out very, very well. But yeah, this is the level of complexity that I would have expected from CyberPsycho. They're a very good technical player. Everyone, I always say this every single tournament, everyone has something that I learn from. Absolutely, I can say, oh yeah, I learned that from that person. Oh yeah, that's something I do and I learned from them. You know, I could just keep going through. Everyone has taught me something. That's very cool. Anything else I want to mention about this one? I don't know. I don't think so. Plenty of good complexity. This is still way more built out than I did. And I'm always impressed. But yeah, works out very well. CyberPsycho, well done. Next is the dude. Cheesy deployment. Cheesy deployment. That is billion. 4.12012 billion. 4.1 billion. I'll leave it like that. Let's take a look at what the dude has. Oh, wow. Oh, wait. I forgot. My bad. Before we go any further, we didn't look at CyberPsycho's shared orders. We didn't look at CyberPsycho's anything. I screwed up. Hold on. Okay. Yep. My bad. Shared orders. Yep. This one's going to be a little different because instead of pushing tons and tons and tons of goods, which would have meant like, 20, 30 of the same train type, this is going to be a bit different. So we're going to see a lot of different shared orders and not like 4 or 5 big ones. This is actually doing just bags of mail. Oh, from Christian to Patrick, right? Yep, from end to end. So passenger transportation really did better for, and this is the batteries we already saw. Yep. Okay, and now the storybook. My bad, messed up the order. Okay. Very strong already, $1 million right out the gate. Very solid work, absolutely. Population, incredible, yeah. Yeah, nothing else to say. I think the Yeti stuff was interesting, but it adds maybe just a hair too much complexity for me. And maybe not the Yeti part themselves, but the trains and everything threw me out for a frickin' loop. Okay, so we've got a bunch of complexity dancing over there. Holy crap, you can see this one from space. Somebody had some money. Somebody had some money. Holy crap. Yeti reservation. Okay. I can't even. Is this making any Yeti dudes? Not really. Okay. Interesting stuff. So almost every town, let's say 25% of the towns, 50%? 50% of the towns are all beefed up crazy. We do have some airport action here. Abigail probably goes to the other side of Narnia for Larry. Yep. Absolutely massive cities for sure. I really want to get into working with a different client. That is something I think that is more and more commonly used in our community. Is there's different clients you can connect to play the game with. It's a client side thing. It's not a server side thing. So like copy pasting stuff is really easy. I think I haven't done any looking into it, but I really should because I'm just playing with vanilla. So every tournament is a lot of clicking. It's just a lot of clicking. So I should really look into something else with that. But as we've seen with other players, complex routes as well. Let's check out something like this. What do we got going on here? This is the same setup we've seen before, which is very interesting. So let's pick up this apart a little bit. What you see here are trucks. These trucks are very simple. Go to, go to. There's 2 orders here, but you might look at this real quick and be like, this is all one station. It actually isn't. These are alternating stations. This one right here is Avtonoma Transfer. If I go over one, this is Avtonoma West. It might be a little hard to see, but West Transfer, West Transfer, West Transfer. And it alternates like that. So that way the truck is making very little movement. It's moving 1 square, right? But it's able to pick up and drop off very fast. Now, you can do this with a train, you can do this with anything, but doing it with trucks ensures that it just moves as quickly as it can. So that's kind of the idea behind that. But yeah, this works out very well. Very cool setup. I'm amazed all the power plants and everything lined up like that. But yeah, incredibly, yeah, this one's a little more difficult to just take apart because of the intricacies of it. So these are all population centers, which are most likely bringing all their population to, I would say, probably here. Nope. Swing and a miss. Well, we could do this a lot easier. Let's just go to one of them. We'll check out, hey, what trains you got? Give me that one. Donald West. Oh, these are just population runs, just to get money in that way. Honestly, based on the level of complexity, I would absolutely assume that people would have jumped into this a little bit and been like, you know what, I'm just going to run population around. This sucks. I could totally see that being a thing. 100%. That's actually what happened to my run. That's what happened to my run. But everything looks very cool. Yeah. Let's go through shared train orders for cheesy deployment. Mail, passenger, I'm going to guess. Nope, reversed. So these are both passengers. Oh, these are all mail? What the heck? Oh, full empty, maybe? Am I daft? Oh, no, they're passengers and mail. Okay. So mostly passengers is what does it. Total profit last year. Yeah. Passenger stuff really is what sunk the putt with this one. The profit margins for machinery are high. Cargo payment rates. Machinery, I think, is the highest. Yes, if you check this graph, machinery, batteries, building materials are high for delivery, but passengers and mail are low on the list. But when you can transport that much volume that quickly, it's kind of a good shake, right? Let's check out their storybook, and then we will move on to other players. Absolutely crazy amounts of population. 2 million people. Holy crap. That's insane. 450 million a year certainly didn't hurt. Yeah, that's crazy. Well done, the dude. Next is Bogus. Bogus is Frozen Sasquatch Limited. That makes sense, considering this is Yeti. Let's take a look at their profile. They snuck in at 239.5 mil. Sorry, I need to crack that. Yeah, if you crack your knuckles, don't. It's rough. It's rough, it's rough, it's rough. All right. Let's see. Oh, boy. Okay. They maximized distance. Absolutely. This might be pretty straightforward for us to go through. So, pops, pops, pops. This is something that I love to see. This is great. So there's yeah, you probably hold like what, 20 passengers? 160 passengers in this little thing, really? Holy crap. All right. This is the same thing when people build bus stations. It goes ding, 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 ding. And the logic is 1 passenger in 5 stations, I think, really helps a town determine whether or not it grows, or a city or whatever. But that's how that works. That's what this is about, this little thing here. It's 1 train. It's just going to every single one. There's no real logic. Go to here, go to here, go to here, go to here, go, and that's it. Yep. But it works out incredibly. It looks really nice, too. I like it better than the buses. The buses are easy to do, but that works out. So, this is going to go... we'll just follow the rail, right? This is the one rail to rule them all. And this was probably very expensive to set up, but once it's set up, it works out really nicely. More population stuffs. More population stuffs, yeah. Is this probably getting Yeti dudes? Yep. This is actually getting the Yeti dudes. You can see them. They're cute. They look like little starfish. Kind of. Or fighter jets. They look like arrows or fighter jets or something. I don't know. Anyway, that's dropping off pops. That's getting Yeti dudes. The Yeti dudes are being pulled back here. Most likely to that farm we saw. The Kevin Plantation right there. Yep, that would make sense to me. We're just going to keep going clockwise and see what we can see. Oh, holy crap. Well, found the thanks, John. Yeah, they also shared their thanks, John, in the Discord. And what they did was they did it with water, and it looks really good with water. They didn't. Oh, so they said they didn't think about adding the canals until after the playthrough, but they did it really quick like this and before the grass grew, and it looks really nice. Does this even show up on the radar? I think it might not. Oh, it does somewhat. Yeah, because of the height contours. Still very cool. Yep, so this brings all the stuff here. This is bringing... What are ducks? Oh, yeah, right. Yeti dudes. But this is bringing stuff around. This is bringing food to places, I'm sure. You're probably waiting on food. Tons of fruit and vegetables. Yep, you're waiting for more Yeti dudes. And then you're going to bring it to a food mill or food factory, whatever it's called. And then you're going to bring the food back. Yep, oh, here it is. Here's the food plant. Yep, so this brings either pig cows, grain, or fruits and vegetables. And that's how that works. The NewGRF isn't difficult, I would say. Like, I figured it out. That's a good sign, right? It's just a little bit of intimidating because, again, you got to really fight some paradigms, or you have to come to terms with some paradigms where oil rigs and oil wells don't produce oil. You have to bring dudes to the thing. That's kind of how that works. I still love I do love this, that the things are just different. Yeti dudes or duckies. That's very cute. Okay, let's take a gander at their shared train list. We're going to sort by number of vehicles. Just Yeti dudes all over the place. And then this is most likely also Yeti dudes. Man, I do not know the difference between all the trains. So these are completely different train types. This is monorail, and this is diesel. Yeah, the Devil Driver. So I don't know when one is better than the other. What I usually do is I look at the stats, right? I compare stats against each other, and I'm like, well, this one looks like this, and this one looks like this, and this one has more speed, and this one blah, blah, blah. And that's how I do it. So for me, it's just confusing, but I'm sure it makes sense. I'm sure there's like always do this one, and this one, and this one, but I don't know it. Anyway, taking a look at their storybook, you can see solid profit all the way through year after year after year. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah. I don't have any notes. Another impressive run, and again, another different style, right? With every one of these tournaments, I think there's one or two players that'll just be like, I'm gonna try something different, and then they do, and it's very cool. Okay, next. This is Guild Games with Mega Metro Multiplex. They came in with a bill. I'm just gonna say 1 billion. Boom. That was easy. Alright, let's take a gander at what they got. Very strong city growth. Absolutely. Yep. Every place they are in, they got some really good city growth going on. What is this thing? Madison Spike Garden. That must have taken some time. So this is the wet. This was the wet rail. So you saw yellow, green, red, gray, blue, the different kinds of rails. This is another one, wet rail. I don't know what this is, but effectively it's a boat, but it's not a boat, it's a train. So that is something else. I don't get how that works at all, but Madison Spike Garden, good find. Excellent. Another quick pan of the map, see if there's anything. Yeah, very good city growth. Very straightforward. Yeah, this is what I was saying before. This is 4 stops. This is 4 truck stops. And this is most likely... Yeah, okay, so they're doing bags of mail instead of passengers. I think that'll work out just as well for the city to check, hey, should I grow this month or no? How do you want me to do it? More Yeti dudes. So this is clay. There's a Yeti dude thing right here. Yep. And this is going to connect to... Mines are going to go to a factory. So this is the red per line, which was speed? Maybe? Okay, yep. This comes to a construction yard. Construction yard makes building materials. Building materials go back out and go to a Yeti place. Yep, there you go. Right there. Oh, no, that's the stone quarry. It looks about the same when zoomed out. Yeah, so here's a ton of building materials. Yetis need food. Building materials will not be consumed. So that's the order of operation. You bring passengers, you bring food, you bring building materials. So that level of complexity, needing one thing and then another, that's where I think that can get very complicated. Same thing with any games. Once you add an extra layer of logistics, it can get really weird, right? Like I said, like on my run, it took me freaking five in-game years for me to be like, oh, now I get it. Okay. you have to bring passengers for better Yeti production, and then you have to bring food, and then right. There's no, you can't just really ignore it. You have to complete the whole chain. This is pretty incredible. What's the coverage on this? Yeah, that's going to bring a lot of passengers and mail and everything. So I'm sure that's got some really good routes going. Mila Woods. Oh, this is bringing stuff to here. Okay, and dropping off as a transfer. So this guy, George, full load any cargo. Okay, more passenger stuff. Yep, fair enough, fair enough. Let's see here. What else do we want to tap on? Passengers to Yeti stuffs, I'm sure. I really think this game mode specifically could do with a much longer deep dive. I just recently finished my run, so I'm not really super into doing a really big deep dive on it, but I think this would award some much better complexity and a much bigger looking glass, so to speak. Oh. You should have set the parameter to industry, tried Yeti, so that is the main strength of this new JRF because it's packs by default. I'm not sure what that means, but I can talk to Guild Games about it. Honestly, all the settings and everything I left to just default. I didn't get any votes on what things ought to have been, and I don't know enough about the mod or anything. Sorry, I don't know enough about the new GRF. So I probably should have changed some settings, and we could give this a go again some other time. But yeah, I didn't change anything. Was there anything else I should be looking at? Just one more quick... Oh, holy crap. Found it. Yeah, you can see it. THANK. Okay, the map did a better job. That spells it out a little bit better. Yep. Very cool. All right. Found it. Let's look at shared orders. 299 trains. What? Something is bust. Oh, I think we had this conversation before. I think when you do this, you actually inflate your company value. Yeah. We'll have to talk about that. We had that happen once before, and we said it was a no-no. These trains have no orders, there's nothing to do. Or at least they're not running. What the heck? Where even is it? Come on, one more time. Thank you. Is that even something that can be done? It can. I think buying all these trains artificially inflates company value. So we'll have to talk about it. Still very impressive to even get to 1 billion. Let's take a look at their storybook. Where are we? Oh, the storybook isn't... Why did the storybook work? Weird. Do I have to join? No. Let's rejoin just in case. I don't think that's going to fix anything. Yeah, weird. The actual storybook didn't come through. Well, anyway, not going to worry too much about it. Thank you very much, Guild Games. Next is Goody Two Shoes. Let's see what they've got going on. Kaboom. Kaboom? Oops. Kaboom is in at 3.8 million. Not too shabby at all. Take a quick look overall, see if we see anything that really grabs at us. It's always interesting to see how many players build in. So like Cinder Elm Creek grabbed this corner here on the left, and they were like, I'm just gonna build right over here. No problem, right? That was cool. We had Bo Gus, who built all the way around like a massive ring, which, you know, increased distance means more money, so that works out nicely. And then we have other players who build more internally like this, and Goody Two Shoes did a cross-country sort of a thing here. Very straight up. I like it. There's a Yeti thing right here in the middle of this town. I'm going to guess these are passenger and mail things. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. And then here is another Yeti spot. Tons of passengers waiting. Yep. Very cool. Every player has attacked this sort of a thing a bit differently, which is also very cool to see. So this is a neat little chain. So Yeti dudes are coming from the right on this one. This is producing oil. Oil then comes to the oil refinery to make gallons of refined products. Refined products... Boop. Let's just... Doop, doop. Refined products are then going to some machinery locale. There we go. Boop. Just like that. And again, refined products and stuff like that is going to make some decent money. But realistically, I kind of feel like a lot of players were like, you know, I'm just going to do passengers. Forget this. Passengers are where it's at. Because it's just a lot easier, right? It cuts down a lot of complexity. But still, some very, very good town growth here. Holy crap. Is Donald eating Wayne or is Wayne eating Donald? Just ramph. I actually can't tell where one begins and one unbegins. What's actually really neat is it looks like their road junctions all actually meshed. Like they're lined up. I thought towns wouldn't naturally be lined up like that. I thought they would be just, you know, offset or whatever. So that's actually cool that those two mesh like that. What else? Anything else, really? I know I'm going kind of quickly through these. That is missing a station. Lots of passenger stuff. Let us go through. Oh, anything else on the map? Real quick. The height thing and the vegetation thing. Usually point out if there's anything extra. Nope, everything looks pretty straightforward. Oh, what's this? Is this destroyed line? Okay, so this line was built at one time and has been removed. Could have been that an industry closed. That is something that I noticed on this. There's a lot of industry being built up and being closed very quickly. Anyway, let's check some of their train routes. Yep, passengers. Passengers and mail. Yep. And, oh, let's check the routes. Catherine and Rhea North. Catherine's on the other side. Yep. Very decent route. Yeah, absolutely good route. And that just hauls passengers from place to place. Yeah, everyone made some really good money in terms of just passenger runs. So total profit last year. Yep, passengers and mail are the top bits. I think if machinery and refined products and steel and stuff like that was a little higher to give some better incentive, I think people would have been like, man, you gotta, you know, because like in a normal game, you rush to goods. Yeah, this storybook worked. You rush to goods, and goods are what make the real money in a vanilla game. But in this one, it was difficult to come across with a lot without doing passengers and mail. really. But still, very good work from Goody Two Shoes, and kaboom! Last but not least is yours truly, John T. Megacycle Transport. My middle initial isn't T, by the way, but it's just always fun to throw in there. I walked out with 420.3 milli. Okay, let's take a quick gander at my map. I'll walk you through what I did. I started off with passenger. I did this one first from Kayla to Donald to Wayne. Very straightforward. Yep. Bus set up there. I thought these two cities were close to each other, Donald and Wayne, so I set those up, and those are my first. I didn't know what trains to use, but I stumbled on these, and I'm like, these are adorable. Pig, cow pigs, sheeps. Amazing. So that's what I tried first, which was probably incorrect, which is fine. Then after I got some passenger stuff going, I think I went over to here and I tried to set up a chain of this. So this was really simple. Here is our Yeti production. So the Yetis are going to grain and stone. The stone is then going here to a building construction yard to make building materials. The grain is then coming here to make food. And then this loops all the way around again, drops off the food, drops off the construction materials, gets more Yetis. That was my proof of concept for how this loop worked. And then I also brought more food, more, what is this, pig cows? More pig cows from here over to here to try to get things going. So this was a very simple idea of a loop. So Yetis to grain and stone, stone goes to building materials, grain goes to food, building materials and food come back to the Yetis. With that, I tried to add a bit more to it. So this is making more food that's being brought over. And I wasn't really too sure how I wanted to handle this whole thing. Here's a machinery loop. So it's Yetis to oil, oil to refined products to machinery. Machinery is then being brought all the way up. So after I did all that, I was like, you know what? I'm pretty happy just doing population stuff. Just passengers and mail. So here's Kevin. Kevin is being brought all the way up here to Elizabeth and Cynthia. Same kind of thing. Set them for growth. Was pretty happy about it. And then I chucked down some airports just to grease the wheels a little bit. I tried to do airport transportation for the Yetis, but the problem with that is Yetis are gigantic. So a train that can normally hold 100 people and 20 bags of mail can hold like 30 Yetis. It's not great. So it made that kind of difficult, but I was hoping to build like an international Yeti network. That was going to be my plan, and it didn't work out that well at all. So like I said, one of the things that I'm noticing, or I've noticed, was the money wasn't that great for dealing with Yetis. And just dealing with regular population was fine. Here is my thanks all. If it can, I don't know if it's even legible now. No, it's not legible. But I cut this out, and I did the same thing that Bo Gus did, is I demolished it. And then I planted the stuff so that way it was brown with a green offset. But this says thanks all. Believe me. Or don't, it's fine. So that's my humble run. Let's go through my stuff. Shared train orders, passengers, real easy. There wasn't anything fancy about any of this. Yeah, passengers, and I mixed it up a little bit. I tried to get some of these other train bits in here. We went with controlled demolition or something, and then we went for damaged, which is another engine name. I don't know. I honestly had no idea. Very cool for those who have the strategic mind to do all that stuff, but I do not. Let's go ahead and check our global storybook. Yeah, not too bad. I was really happy with it, actually. Would have liked to have dipped more into the Yeti stuff, like I said, but after a while I was like, well, meh. But I did learn a lot, and I was thankful for that. So let's go ahead and call this an episode here. let's do a brief summary of who won. So first off, in the rankings, The Dude at 4.1 billion. Guild Games at 1 billion, and I'm going to discuss the community on the ranking of that. But they made second place. Third place is going to be JMegs at 420 million. Goody Two Shoes at 353.8 million. Cyber Psycho at 313 million. Bo Gus at 239.5 million. Cinder Elm Creek at 134.2 million. I believe that covers everyone. And thank you all for participating in the tournament. If you would like to join this tournament or some of the other things that we've got going on in the community, feel free to join the Megacycle Entertainment Discord server, the link to which is in the description of this video in the belows. And check it out. And yeah, thanks for stopping by and checking out the video, and I hope to catch you next time. Hey there, guys, gals, fans, and pals. Thanks for checking out my video. I also want to take a moment to thank all my supporters and donators, and if you'd like to join up with me and game with my crew, all the information to get connected is in the description below. Thanks again, and I hope to catch you next time.